Hey everybody, RockPaperMario here, and welcome back to Let's Play Pokemon Yellow, the Pikachu solo run. In the last part, we had a somewhat I still can't get over that first battle. I'm somewhat speechless. That first battle against Giovanni. I'm somewhat speechless regarding that whole dig scenario where I just used dig once and I died. And then the next battle, I completely myrtleized him. It actually, literally, that second battle of... I'm not even listening to Gary because, I actually don't care. He's just gonna be like, I'm after beating more Pokemon than you. I got an Emperor Burger and you only got a cheeseburger. And I'm just like, I only have one Pokemon. Well, I have 3, but I don't care. But yeah, that second battle against Giovanni couldn't have gone any better. It's ridiculous. Like, I just couldn't believe it. Swift. I just don't even care. Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift is just that artist that, I like her songs, but I just wish she didn't sing them or had anything to do with them. It's like I like her music, but I really don't like her at all. Do you know? But yeah, that second battle against Giovanni, I can't envisage that having had any opportunity to go any better whatsoever. It was just absolutely amazing, and I loved it. Oh my god, you're using Solar Beam. You're crazy. You're going to be dead by the time you get that off. So yeah. And then, I obviously, saved up the audio and the video or whatever, and I went to the bathroom. When I came back from the bathroom, I looked outside, and it was snowing. I couldn't believe it. There was snow falling outside. And, it's not going to stick. I think it's actually after stopping already. But this is, the big cold snap they were talking about. They've been talking for, the last week and a half. In Europe, on the European mainland, the weather is crazy. It's really, really cold. It's really icy. It's awful. And it's, causing a lot of problems over there. And actually, there are a lot of people after, a lot of refugees and things like that in Greece and Turkey and things like that. Are already after dying, and a lot of elderly people in France and Germany and stuff. It's ridiculous. And we're just, completely after escaping it over here with our nice, maritime, mild temperatures and moist weather and no snow and ice whatsoever. As per usual. It's ridiculous. So yeah, we're completely after escaping it. And then they were going on, of course, the one hint there was if there going to be any cold weather whatsoever, the media over here for the past week have been like, oh, there's a cold snap coming, and all of a sudden it's going to be so cold, and the weather is going to be ridiculous, and you better wrap up, and it's going to be icy, and it's going to be chaos, and it's going to be pandemonium. And, here we are, it's Thursday. The cold snap is what? It's 6 degrees Celsius out there. It's positive 6 degrees Celsius. And there was a small little bit of snow that was just soft little 10-minute snow that disappeared as soon as it hit the ground. And never to be seen again. And now I'm looking out the window and the sky is blue and the sun is shining. It's ridiculous. I'm out of here. We're gonna see. Look, why did he even come out here if he was just gonna turn back and go all the way back again? What an Ultramaroon. Just completely dismissive of his character in this playthrough. I just have no time for it whatsoever. All I'm here to do in this LP is to raise Pikachu as high as I can. And, just kick everyone's ass. That little level 2 Nidoran, I'm not going to even bother waste my time. I'm not going to waste my PP using an attack on it. Well, here we are, the Pokemon League. All you all you idiots, just get out of my way. Yeah, that's the Boulder badge, you better believe it. Look, all of a sudden it's a cop. The Cascade badge. Isn't Cascades one of the doctor's names in Scream Queen Season 2? It's the Taylor Lautner doctor is Dr. Cascade. The thing about Scream Queens, I watched all of Scream Queen Season 1 and 2 and whatever. And the thing about Scream Queens is it's that show that I know it's kind of bad. It's not that it's kind of bad, but I still really love it just because I love the style of it and I love how ridiculous it is. And I love how unashamedly exaggerated and silly it is. Like, and I just can't get enough of that. I just love, like, you guys know me, I love kind of fakeness and plasticity and things like that. And I just can't get enough of the overly exaggerated, over the top humor of that program. It's just crazy. And just the way it looks and the clothes and everything like that, it's just like, it's brilliant. We could find Ditto here. Apparently you can find Primeape here, which I didn't know. And like, apparently I could have in like my original anime run, I could have like caught Primeape here instead of catching Mankey at the beginning and evolving it into Primeape, which, well, shoulda, woulda, coulda. I remember there was one day I was trying to think of that song. There's like this song that goes shoulda, woulda, coulda, and like I was trying to think of what song it was, and I was looking it up, and like the song, it does go like shoulda, woulda, coulda, shoulda changed my mind or something, but the song itself is called Wish I. It's that one that's like, oh, I wish I something, 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 shoulda, woulda, coulda, shoulda, something, I don't know. It's just a lot of rubbish. No, I didn't want to do that! Why did I think Big Burger knew strength? I thought he was a burger with strength, but he's not, he's a weak burger. It's like if you ate that Squirtle, you could don't go into the Pokemon Center. It's like if you ate that Squirtle, you could talk and you could chew and still talk. Because when a burger, why do I keep talking about that video all of a sudden? It's like I've never talked about that video in how many years? In like over 6 years of LPing, minus like all the downtime, minus the like year where I didn't do anything, and the other like almost year where I didn't do anything. It's like I've never talked about that video before, and then all of a sudden, the last like ever since I started the Silphco, it's like I've been able to talk about nothing else except that video. And that song, and the original video the song is based on. See, you're not a burger with strength. I could chew and talk at the same time if I chewed you. It's ridiculous. You're not going to fill up all the space and fill up all the air all up in my throat to the point where if I tried to talk, nothing but would be coming out. It's like, that's not you. That's Cutty Watty. He's the one who knows strength. I can't believe I did that. There's one Max Repel down the drain here. It's okay, we got back there in all of like a hot minute. Now, use the right Pokemon this time. Let the right one in. That's another film that I watched. Will I get on the bicycle? I don't really feel like... I'm not really feeling this cave music. What? You're not going to replace the cave music with the bicycle music? I think this is actually only to get an item, but I think that item is a... Well, no, it's Sky Attack, isn't it? Well, no, you have a choice. One of them is Sky Attack, and one is something that I might actually want. Well, no, one of them is like a switch. Of course it's something I want. Wild Geodude appeared. What about my Max Repel? Oh yeah, that ran out. Run. Okay, in what way are we going to do this now? What way do you do this? Or you just go up there? I still can't believe I dug out of Victory Road. Thank goodness I went to the Pokemon Center in Viridian City. Could you imagine if I'd warped all the way back to Cinnabar Island? How ridiculous would that have been? Where do you go? Or you come back from out there? Look, this is the one where you can get like... Yeah, I think that one up top, is there like a secret item in there? No, that totally looked like there'd be a secret item there. The one in the top is Sky Attack as far as I know, so what's this one? Or Rare Candy. That'll come in useful. Let the right one in, just since I said it. That was like one of the films that I actually watched. Oh, I could have avoided you. Of course I'm good, this Pikachu is gonna kick your ass. Let the Right One In was one of the films I watched while I was sick, and I hadn't seen it in a long time. I mean, like, well, no, the remake isn't called Let the Right One In, is it? The remake is called just Let Me In, as far as I know. Like, I think the remake is just called Let Me In. Like, the original is like whatever in Swedish. Let the Right One is in Swedish. War Turtle is like, his sprite is pretty cool. I don't think I like ever registered that in Pokemon Yellow because you don't really see them that often. Like Ivysaur and Charmeleon you see. Might as well use Seismic Toss, why not? Watch out, he'll use Slash and kill me in one hit. I have coffee now, I had tea with my last recording session. Or Rage. Rage is just like one of those attacks that they made it out in the cartoon to be such an intimidating attack. And then it's kind of crummy, really, to make the most of it. The thing is, like, leveling up Pikachu, like, I keep having to remember that it'll level up his Charizard. Look at him! Now, that's a sprite that I remember. I'll make this a sprite to remember. Because it just looks silly. He looks like the Skeksis or something. I probably said that the last time. Like, he looks like the chamber there! In, like, the Dark Crystal. You had a chance, but not much of one. I should probably whip out the... I'm just going to use up these super potions, get them out of here. The super potions in, like, which I think is good. Like, I really like the way they kind of changed that in Sun and Moon, that the super potions actually heal 60 instead of, the super potions actually changed, heal 60 instead of 50, which I think is a far more usable amount of HP to heal. Because if you get to the point where, like, potions aren't cutting it anymore, like, if you get to the point where you have so much HP that potions just aren't enough, well, then you're already at the point where you need, like, to heal more than 50 HP. That's just the way it is. Is there a point to pushing this up here? I don't know. I'm just gonna leave it there for the moment. Is the way I feel about it. But yeah, that Let the Right Way In film, like, I don't know if anyone has seen it, like, the original Swedish film is just so good. Like, anyone who likes kind of, like, slow-moving horror, you know, not kind of, like, over-the-top horror, but it's kind of, like, it's a really cool film about, like, childhood friendship more than anything. Like, it's about vampires, but it uses vampires as the basis for, like, a film about childhood friendship and humanity being, like, what's really cool about it is, like, the town that they're in, like, even without the vampire in it, it just, like, the town itself is just so dark and so cold and so uncaring, you know, that kind of way. That's what's really cool about it. So it's like, well, like, of course there's going to be a vampire there. That was, like, the really most silly way of explaining it. Of course there's going to be a vampire there, why not? Where else would a vampire go? But yeah, if you're anyway into... There's Moltres with his mustache. I always thought that was the front of him. And it's not, that's actually the back of the sprite. That's why it looks like it's a mustache. But yeah, the repels effect wore off. But then, like, I actually haven't seen the readaptation of it. What is this? TM05? What's TM05? I don't even know what half of these TMs are. There are so many TMs in this generation that, like, what they actually were as standard changed in Generation 2. And then in Generation 2 they actually became that standard. Like, and then that, like, because there are so many TMs in this that you never ever ever see as TMs again, like Psy-Wave. It's like, who needs a TM of Psy-Wave or a TM of Teleport and junk like that? I actually wouldn't mind watching the readaptation of that film that Let Me In. Apparently it's not actually that bad. Like, apparently it's, like, quite faithful to the original film, you know? And I just love, like, I'm a big fan of kind of spooky, slow-moving horror films. Speaking of which, I actually wanted to watch that film Under the Shadow, that one that's set in Iran in the 1980s or whatever. Because that seemed, like, really similar to films like The Babadook or things like that, where again it's like a slow-moving kind of a horror. Now, where's the hole I'm supposed to push the rock into? Don't I have to push it, like, all the way along here? Isn't that what it is? Yeah, I do. Brilliant. TM47. Is that, like, Substitute or some garbage like that? But yeah, like, No, don't do that again. Stop trying to do that. But yeah, I wanted to watch that film Under the Shadow. It had actually been in the cinema here. I'm going to presume I have to keep it on the bottom row. No, you stay on the bottom! But then, like, I never got the chance to see it then when it was in the cinema here. Because it was only in the Triskel, which is like the art house cinema. So like they might have like a film on for like one weekend. Like they might show it like over the course of 4 days. They might show it like 5 or 6, like 6 times, let's say, like once every night, and then on the Sunday they'll show it like twice. So I never got the chance to see it, and then I saw that it was on Netflix and I turned it on. Now maybe I'm wrong, I don't know, but I don't think I am. But like, it was in English. Like I watched like the first 2 seconds, 20 seconds of it. Okay, what did that even open up? I'm going out down here. Okay, so now I'm up here where Moltres is. I actually don't think there's anything else up here except Moltres. And that. But no, wait a second, I think this like actually opened up that switch down there, maybe? Stop trying to dig. Just stop doing that, it's silly. Did that maybe open up the switch that's here? Maybe? Well no, I was already... Yeah, one of them. But there's one that you have to like push it down the hole. Well, where's the one that you have to... Maybe it's this. Okay, well... Well, no, they've all been reset, have they? I have no idea what's going on. I'm like mucho confused though. But yeah, then I went like to... No, that one's still like... Because I need to push the one down the hole. You'd have to put the balls in the holes. But it was in English. But it wasn't like in English, it was like dubbed in English, which just looked really silly. There's like no other way I can go here, sure there's not. No, I didn't think so. It was like dubbed over in English, so it just looked really bad. But there's no other way I can... If you think I'm fighting you just for whatever crummy item that is. Well, what? Look, I didn't even go up here. What's down here? This is probably where I had to like... Of course. Oh, I must have... Well, no, I wouldn't have had to push that down there, because you can't do anything if you push that down there. So it was like dubbed over in English, so it looked like an old Godzilla film, where like they had like, where their mouths would move, but the words, like the audio wasn't in sync with their mouths moving. It looked like Final Fantasy X, even though Final Fantasy X isn't actually the worst offender for that. There are like very few like parts in that where like the voice acting doesn't match up with the mouth movement, in fairness. So I was like, I can't watch this, so I turned it off after like about 20 seconds. Which was a shame, because I really wanted to see it, and then it just turned out to be so like that I had to like refrain from watching it because it was like because it was dubbed. Like, I just find that unwatchable, and that's why I never understand. Like in Germany, they dub everything, like absolutely everything. Like if like there's like Hollywood films and English films and things like that, they like dub everything. Whereas over here, like, and I'm pretty sure in America as well, like in the English speaking world, we don't dub anything. Like we don't dub foreign films, like foreign language films, over into English. Like we just have stop trying to dig. I keep trying to do it. I keep thinking that he's a burger with strength. He's not a burger that has strength. He's a weak burger. Okay, don't I have to push this to the left now? But yeah, which I find like far more preferable, because it just seems more normal. It comes back to that thing with like me not being able to suspend my disbelief. Like I find that really difficult. Like in general, I can't suspend my disbelief for things like that. And if something seems like the thing is, like, cinema is 100% like basically like it's ridiculous, because like cinema or film or anything like that, like by virtue of the way the technology works, it's all fake anyway, because your brain is being tricked into thinking that moving still images played like in quick succession are actually moving, which isn't the case. But like I just can't suspend my disbelief to be able to watch something that's dubbed where I know that's not that person's voice, where even though like a lot of things are dubbed anyway, a lot of like things that are filmed on location are dubbed anyway, dubbed over again in a studio. So like that's not really, it just depends on, like, the thing is you can't like match someone who's speaking a different language when you're like trying to synchronize a soundtrack or like the recorded audio in another language. It's just never going to work satisfactorily. It's just silly, and that's why I just can't watch them. And like in Germany they do it all the time, like they like dub everything or synchronize it, is the way they refer to it. In the Nordic countries, like in Scandinavia, they don't. They like leave everything with subtitles like we do here, which just seems way more normal. But anyway, here we are, guys. We're here. It's the Elite Four. We're here in the Indigo Plateau with only our trusty Pikachu. As I say, in between videos, I'm actually going to go back through Kanto and fight all of the trainers that I didn't battle. I'm going to have like my rare candies as well, but I think I have about like 5 or 6 of them at this stage. And I'm probably going to find like some more, like try and find like the other max elixirs that are hidden. I think there's like one in the underground tunnel and things like that. So there's like a good bit of preparation that I want to get done. Other than that, next video, same Poke time, same Poke channel. We're going to be taking on the Elite Four with only our trusted Pikachu by our side. And he seems like he's well up for it. Look, he's in love with the idea. So yeah, thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye now.